My Gavan and Melonine, and well met indeed. I'm Adakir Galadirth, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer. Welcome back to the same as we continue on as Enedwaith. Our success in Enedwaith goes well. Grows is probably the best way to describe that. In the last episode, which was, of course, live streamed, we managed to push north way across the river, as you've seen. Sudori's now ours, Bregost is ours, Argon. Dolvorn fell in the last episode, and our army now pushes up to Basra-Dum, which is a very good money-making settlement. We hope to get that on side. Diplomatically, we've managed to forge an alliance with Bree and the forces of Isengard, which poises us perfectly for war with Dunland. For Bree is at war with Dunland, and Isengard is allied to Dunland, but with any luck, Isengard will break their allegiance to Dunland and side with us. But that doesn't really matter, because as you can see, something has happened in our latest testing version, and Rohan are doing remarkably well. Rohan are absolutely dominating Isengard and kicking them all around the lands of the Gap and into eastern and southern Enedwaith. So, with any luck, Isengard won't be a threat, but that's fine. We're here to show off Enedwaith's late game features, and we're closing in on that. We need to gather together all of the regions for the uniting of Enedwaith. And they are all listed there, as you can see. And we have a great many of them now, with only Dunland's regions left, which is Dunland Border, Dunland Proper, and Dunland Lowlands. Dunland Proper's up there. We do also need Laufir, and so we've got to take that as well. But otherwise, that's it. We've got all of the other requirements. So the army will march up to Basra-Dum and take that. As our diplomat heads now down... I don't know where our diplomat's heading. Have we got a mission for him? No, just take Basra-Dum. He's heading down just to talk to the elves, I expect.
Journey planned out.
So he's going to head down into the lands of Linden and see if we can't talk to them, get something from them. Otherwise, though, we are doing well financially as well, so we're able to build the odd building here and there, which, as you can see, is going up quite nicely. Bregost is next on the list with some roads. In fact, everywhere is trying to build roads. That is our current goal. Of course, this campaign has been marred slightly with the realization that something is really, really broken with Gundabad, and we need to sort it out. And so, temporarily for this campaign, I have killed off Gundabad so that it stops crashing our game. To be honest, it's actually quite a relief to have worked out what is causing all of the problems which is causing 90% of the crashes in the mod. Because now at least we've got somewhere to look for the fix, and that is what we need. Previously, we were just getting worrying reports that DaC V5 has more and more and more crashes and is becoming rather unstable, which is obviously terribly worrisome for a modder, but it's fundamentally relieving to realise that actually the mod is not getting unstable and having many, many, many crashes. Well, of course it is, but we know the reason now, and by removing Gundabad, that at least resolves almost all of the crashes. And I say almost because there are always one or two odd battle crashes that you just can't resolve. For example, I've now changed my keys over to the Total War camera rather than the RTS camera, because then it lines up better with Warhammer, and I think it's better to have my keys doing the same things. And also because it then means that I can tilt the camera when we get into the battle map, which is something I wanted to do. So I was just testing around some quick battles, and one of the quick battles just crashed randomly at the start of the battle, and it was something to do with Germanicus's battle AI script, and I just have absolutely no idea how to resolve that. So there will always be the odd crash. That's what I would say. But working out the reason why... I'm just going to end the turn again. We're not doing anything. Working out the reason why we're getting the turn 1 crash quite frequently and then just random crashes at the end of Gundabad's turn is fantastic. Now, of course, I say all of that. We haven't actually worked out what is the cause, but knowing that the cause is within a refined space is far easier to locate. If you have a problem with the central heating in your home, it's much easier to know that the problem is coming from one specific room rather than having to search the entire house. So that is where we are at. I thoroughly enjoyed live streaming Enedwaith, and I've thoroughly enjoyed live streaming on the channel as well, to be honest, and I think the reception has been fantastic, and so I'm pleased at that. I've also thoroughly enjoyed playing Warhammer, and the release of the Warhammer 3 trailer fills me with desire to play Warhammer more. So this week, and then hopefully maybe moving forward, I'm going to at least increase the Warhammer videos to 2 a week. Because I really, really, really enjoy playing it, and I'm hoping to continue Warhammer on the channel, just as some other form of content for those that might want it. We've tried Skyrim, and whilst a few of you die-hard followers who I have my greatest respect, whilst many of you loved Skyrim and watched every episode, it was wildly unpopular in truth. So that didn't go anywhere. And we've tried a few other games. Age of Empires has always been successful, and there's always a chance we could throw some multiplayer games of that in. But the problem with doing one-offs every 3 or 4 months or so is that it's not conducive to longevity, and it doesn't build a sort of fan base, if you will. So we've got to look into that. Right, I've been talking over and we've not done anything because we don't really have much to do. The money's everywhere is now building, so we can start queuing up some things again. And I would suggest Outfood is the best place to build things because it already makes the most money, and money begets money. So making this better, it can only help us. And I think what we'll try and do is get a market in. Oh, Master Carpenters would be fantastic, actually. Yes, I'm going to go for a Master Carpenters. So we will hold off on building anything until that gets built. Well, how much do we make? 3,600 it's going up to. It's about 2,700 coins. And that's exactly how much that cost, isn't it? 2,762. So we could just about build a thing somewhere. Grove of Stories, you're the... Yes, the Stone Circle is the town hall. The Grove is the culture-spreading building. And that's about all we can build. So no, we won't bother. Now, up in Buzzradum, we'll... Oh, they're only going to hold out for 3 turns. We might just siege them out. There's no point fighting that. It's just Moria forces. There's no risk or threat from Moria, so why bother? Now, turning to the mod itself and what's going on behind the scenes, since we last played Enedwaith, and indeed last played DaC, nothing really has happened. The past week has been rather quiet in terms of modding, I would submit. And so there's not much to report, I am afraid. Dunland is next in the sights of Lord of Lynx and Hummingbird, so when I have something to report on that, I will do. And I do hope to do a developer diary in due course when I've just got a bit more to talk about. And of course, ever waiting in the wings is the top 10 pikes and thereafter spears, and also my personal top 10 bodyguards, because it's impossible to rank the bodyguards, I think. So instead I would go on a personal opinion of bodyguards. I'd also like to do the same thing for factions. What are my top 10 favourite factions? Which, of course, is entirely subjective. I'm not going to take you on. I don't need additional sons. Londair builds dirt paths, which is nice. Got an extra 100 gold coins for its dirt paths. And Alkford did build its master. That's fantastic. To be honest, I think I'd like Londair to get the same, if we can. Londair and Alkford have the propensity to be the wealthiest of our settlements, because Londair begins as a city, where Alkford starts fully upgraded, but Londair starts at a higher tier, so it does have the potential to do well. But you'll note that even Londangram, which is currently only a town, earns more money than Londair, so we need to do something about that. I apologise at the start of this episode, it's just ending turn after ending turn, but sometimes it do be like that, to quote the young folk. And here we are. I will once again happily advertise that at the moment I play Apex Legends in basically any and all of my spare time. And if you would like to play Apex Legends with me, just message me on the Discord with your Apex Legends name, so either your Steam name or Origin name, the name that appears above your character in the game, and I can add you to our club. And that's the best way for us to then move forward to play the game. But of course, do note that if the time zones permit it as well, if you do live particularly far away, it might be a challenge for us to play together, but we'll see what we can do.
Yes, my
right, Mythlond. Do we want an alliance with Mythlond? They're allied to the Dunedain, to Bree, to the Dwarves. They don't like the Goblins or Anwar. Yeah, I'd happily take an alliance with you to secure this northern bound. They do not want... What about just... We'll go straight in with an alliance.
It's good.
Yes.
Very well.
And then, what about map info for map info? Why is that demanding? Oh, it looks like they might accept, even though it's demanding.
Possibly a
Oh, yes, thank you, Kieran.
Well, that seemed fruitful.
Absolutely
Farewell.
smashing. Argon got its dirt paths and the Phylani war wagons. The Phylani war wagons, I am afraid to say, will die almost immediately when I get them into combat. And not particularly because I'm terrible with chariots, which of course I am. I don't deny that. But chariots, unfortunately, the war wagons for Enedwaith are a touch on the weaker side, and it's very, very easy to get them killed. So they almost certainly will die.
As you wish. I shall
Right.
continue tomorrow.
They will rise up and attack us now, so we're about to have a battle, which is good. And that will secure our that will definitely secure Bree on our side. Although Bree, as I say, are already hidden Dunland, and once Rohan starts taking Isengard out, which they have done, Dunland will be next in their sights. Actually, Dunland will be next in their sights. I think we need to act sooner rather than later. But then that's only got a turn, hasn't it? Where's the ship? Where's the ship? Go back and get them. Head up there and pick up the army. We're going to need to hit Dunland really, really soon before Rohan moves in and takes it. Lest we have to attack Rohan, which is not ideal. I don't really want to have to attack Rohan, but if we need to, and then we will. But I don't really want to. And Bree, will you stop trying to buy Argond? I really, 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 really wish we had slightly more tools and were able to tinker more, so that we could just tell the AI that bribing is not a thing. Just remove it from their knowledge altogether, because that's exactly what is happening here. He's trying to bribe Argond, but of course bribery has been removed from the game. It has zero chance of success in any and all events, because we felt bribery just does not fit with Lord of the Rings. There's a couple of very specific circumstances where people obviously were bribed quite famously. But on the whole, it would just be so much worse if you had like dwarves being bribed by orcs, for example, their sworn enemies, or Gondorians being bribed by Sauron. It just wouldn't happen. And so for those egregious examples, we've taken it away, even for those where it would work, where like Dorwinion could bribe Dale or Rune easily, absolutely no trouble. And lots of nations could bribe one another, but for the few that break the law, it's too much, so we removed it. Also, the AI tries to do it non-stop, and it's one of the most frustrating features of the game. In fact, they removed it, didn't they, from later versions? You can't actually bribe anymore, can you, in later versions of the game? I'm sure you can't. So we're not the only ones that thought it was annoying. Right, so the only change to from real-time strategy camera to total war camera is that now when you zoom in and out, it just moves up and down, like this. But it also now gives you the ability to tilt the camera. And that's literally it. Those are the only changes. Which means that you can mess around with the camera on the fly, which I think has merit. So we'll do that. Now, something that has been done behind the scenes, actually, I've told you all nothing's been done, but something has, and it has been the nerfing of the Druidine warriors. Because the Druidine have inadvertently turned into actually one of Enedwaith's best units by a mile. And the reports from all of our beta testers was that once they got Druidine up, basically no enemy could stand before them because everyone fell to the power of the Druidine. Which isn't wildly accurate, of course, because the Druidine are famous for not being good warriors and for basically being terrified of everyone and everything around them. So it didn't really work that they were amazing. But primarily it's because they've got the poison arrows. So they make their enemies cower in fear long before the battle is even joined. Right, everyone's in positions. Nice, 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 nice. You guys please stay in defensive mode. And yes. The only problem with this camera mode, though, is that it is really slow to zoom in. It's really annoying. So you might hear the mouse a bit more, probably. But there they are. Saroline Mercs. They could really do with holding their weapon just a little bit further down. He's basically got his hand on the bladed part. But then these ones in the front haven't. So I think that's just... I don't think you can change that. I think that's dependent on where they are in the wall. Right, and our enemy today stands before us atop the hill. The Goblins of Moria. As the horde thunders down the hill. They will be met with swift and sharp and accurate Enedwaith arrow fire. You can see the Mountain Orc hunters dotted in amongst the number because they're the tallest ones, making the rest of the goblins look minuscule by comparison. The first arrows fire from the dove sheath. In they go. Oh wow, it really does take ages to scroll up and down, doesn't it? Right. 1% of the enemy has died. Unfortunately, we don't have the numbers. That's a feature that I like in the later games. We don't know how many they are and how many we are, which is always just nice to know, isn't it? Anyway, let's speed it up while they run towards us. Shoot at anyone and anything you can. So 12% of them, that's a normal sort of stat for those. For this amount of archers, 12% of them down before we've fully fought them. Leodan and Spearman, you want to be in it. You can charge in. You might as well play aggressive. And we can definitely charge you in. So run yourself around the side. Goblin infantry up against our Fowlan warriors. They will melt away. Fowlan are very powerful. Charge into the side of those. Keep the arrows firing at the back there. Oh, the numbers are now... It's getting dire for our enemy. Leodan spearmen charging in. The Leodan spearmen look fantastic, and they have that really. They have like visually, you can look at them and instantly see, that is a more militarized unit, and I like that a lot. That is exactly what we were going for, and is exactly what has happened. All right, change focus. Goblin bodyguards. We're probably killing a lot of our own forces here at the moment. But they do stop once our units hit them, so they're not terrible. But
they have lost half their men.
The enemy is getting massacred. Absolutely massacred. Oh, those aren't our units. Good. Oh, the bodyguard ran away. Can you please all target the archers? Because they're just firing at us. Right, send the backstory in. Do what you can as well.
Our men have slain the enemy.
Smash into the archers. That should make them run away. Everyone's running away. Only the bodyguards remain. And remember, the town square is so far away that by the time they get to it, the bodyguards should hopefully have died. Sellswords are finishing them off. And they're running away as well. So why haven't we won yet? Oh, some of them are already coming back. Alright, in we go. A couple of the archers still have arrows. Move in. A couple of you still have arrows. Still have range. Yes. 242. 1,861. You are no match for us, Moria. Lay down your arms. We won't spare you, but at least a few of us, less of us will die. More DaC fishermen, 166. That's interesting. Showing there that javelins still hold Enedwaith's top spot. Second place, 159, Dovesheath Foresters, no expected there. They are our elite archer. And 155, Keefi Huntsman, also an archer. But it's good to see the Mordag Fisherman up there, 166. That's brilliant. That one must have been in a good place. But then we've got 129 for the other fishermen as well. So a good showing from the Javelineers. Good showing indeed. It's snowing here today in England. We had snow a week ago, and now we're having snow again. Now, the snow today is not settling at all. It just looks nice out the window, but it's not going to cause havoc or gridlock or anything like that. But it is coming down. Oh, I'll tell you what we can do as well, now that we've won that battle, once it finally loads us back to the campaign map. It doesn't really like loading back to the campaign map when you're in borderless window mode. It always makes you feel... It always suggests that the game has essentially crashed. But it hasn't. It's fine. We got money, or we got a ballista. One ring, not bothered about that. Although the fact that it's in Dol Amroth would suggest that we... Oh, maybe the Enedwaith are still affected by who they ally with for the ring script. That's something we need to change. Because it being in Dol Amroth means it thinks we're an evil nation, and the only reason I could think it thinks we're evil is because we've allied with Isengard. Right, Buzz-Radum will make loads of money in the due course. Look at that, 625 from the mines. But we'll get a carpenter's hut up first. It doesn't have middlemen culture, so they won't like us. But we can leave behind some troops. 76 hunters, and I think I'll probably do, won't it? Yes. Yeah, there we are. Build a tower.
This tower will keep vigil.
I tell you what, we'll leave... Ah, no, we don't need to leave anyone, do we? Where is our general? Where is our general? I've no idea. Oh, you're in there? Yes, Caruion, there you are. Caruion, keep running around the world, building watchtowers for me. Caruion will come up and build the towers. Right, so you get into the boat, and with that conquest succeeded, or cemented, it's time for Dunland. So Dunland can hit us in quite a few fronts, so we're going to need to secure our borders. Ah, Stone Circle is being built, that's good. In Argond, the seat of the Failani. I'm sure we've read about the Failani. Have we read about the Fowlan? No, I don't think we've read about the Fowlan, and I don't think we read about the Mochaini either. Ah, no, we did start. We started with the Mochaini. We've definitely done Bersig. I'm sure we've done Mokani, we've done Argon, so then it must be either the Leodan. Yeah, the Leodan or Hera. Let's go with the Leodan. If I read it before, I apologise, but we're going to now read about the seat of the Leodan. The clan seat is the ancestral home of the Leodan clan. Proud and arrogant, they rule from Lond Dare, jealously hoarding the riches of Arnor within that they have crafted into sturdy armour. Their leaders, however, lack the skill of the Mochaini, and in truth they are more farmers who hide behind the firm walls of Lond Dare. Their strong armour, however, is unmatched in Enedwaith, and it is these defences of armour and walls that have allowed them to stand alone. Like the Mochaini, they are settled, but they rely on their own productive farms for food rather than other clans. They claim that their clan was founded by a warrior woman whom was able to converse with hawks, and whom adapted the sigil of a moon. And it is the hawk and the moon that they've adapted as their emblem. Once secured, this clan seat can muster the Leodan. So, they are jealous hoarders, defensive turtling faction, if they were their own faction. But of course, and alas, they cannot be, for there is a faction limit. Right, we got Buzz Return. We do not want that Baluster. Not bothered about that at all. So get that ticked off. Carrot, you're going to be on the front line as well. You're going to be massively on the front line, and you're a castle. Can I get an Enedwaith barracks here? Requires a moot hall. Moot hall. Yeah, it is. Right, let's get that up and running, because you're going to be right against it. Ah, Bregnas has fallen to Rohan. Isengard's days are numbered. We'll try and help. Oh, Undertowers is held by Mythond. Oh, we knew that already because we got map information, didn't we? Pay attention, Galu. Do try. Do try. Bree didn't want to give me their map information, even though I'm considerably larger than they are. And so they have more to learn than I do. I don't know why they don't want to give me that, but such is life. We could also do with getting an alliance with the Northern Dunedain. We're very much playing this campaign as a nation of good. But of course, we'll need enemies to attack once we've united Enedwaith. For our target victory condition is to hold 25 regions, I think. And we need to take them from someone. And Dunland only has 5 provinces, so we're not going to win just by defeating Dunland. So it may be that we keep Rohan at arm's length, and our wars are going to come from attacking them, to be honest.
Yes, always happy to deal with you, trusted friends.
Yes. Ah, it's Bilbo Baggins.
How could an honor and a
Bree reached. You've reached Bree. The settlement in Eriador was established in the Third Age and is currently inhabited by men and hobbits. The inhabitants of Bree are the few who ever encounter travelling hobbits on regular basis. Oh dear, since hobbits don't leave the Shire that often. Bree is located along the Great East Road and the Old Greenway, which made Bree a centre of trade and a resting place for travellers. For centuries, Bree has been safe from evil now, without any central authority present. This can be explained by the fact that the Dunedain protect the surrounding wilderness from all evil, without the citizens even knowing of the dangers outside their city walls. Eredluin and... Yeah, so we want an alliance with peoples in the north, but we won't worry about the south, because I think we're going to have to attack Rohan. So, best foot forward in anticipation of that. Ah, look, you can give us some good units. Oh, but they take forever to train. Jeez. I would like very much a stone circle. And we'll train the foul and border guards when that's ready, so that you can take the Mordag with you, to be honest.
Your orders, my lord.
3 turns until that unit's ready, and then get us a carpenter's hut there. Buzzardum's building that. Carpenter's hut. Buzzardum is only a mine, which is the dwarven equivalent of a town. There's the crumbled vaults of the First Age, which have no purpose or benefit to us at all. It's just a unique building. The mines are what we want there, as fast and as quickly as we can get them. Right, Kuruion,
Yes,
off on your tower building adventure, sir.
This tower will keep
Build us another one over there, and that should do for the peninsula of Suduri, Saraline. Otherwise, I think we can entertain again. Where is Scotthythe? We've sent you there. Let's go and talk to the Dunedain.
Without question.
The North is a solid alliance now. Eredluin rejected the rings, if I remember rightly. So it's Bree, Dunedain, High Elves, and Dwarves all against Angmar. Can they hold? I doubt it. I doubt it indeed. Dunland, of course, doing their best to pester and annoy the forces of Bree and the Dunedain in the south, but it shan't be for long. The Dunedain absolutely wipe the floor with Dunland, but of course, whilst the Dunedain are dealing with Angmar and Dunland, Dunland might gain some ground, but if Angmar gets beaten back on the western front by the dwarves... Oh dear, Saruman has died. Flyth Vertach. Wow, what a name. Flyth Vertach. I am not going to take you, Flythe. Alkford. Perfect. Oh, and it can afford a Carpenter's Guild house. Oh, yeah, do it. What the hell? What the hell? Suduri got its stone circle up, which means they can be retrained and should... Oh, they won't get free upkeep, though, will they? We need a building here that will grant us a unit that we can train, so let's get land clearance. Oh, actually, the fishery is far more valuable than land clearance. Get the fishery and we'll get that unit up instead. And Buzzardon built its carpenter's hut, and it can get a master carpenter's hut as well, which I would quite like. And then we'll get the mines, and then we'll get the roads, which both will be far cheaper.
Your orders, my lord.
Alright, so we're sailing as close as we can get. Dunland still hold that southern Dunland province, that's good. I mean, you can sail straight into Tharbad and cut them in twain, but I'm not sure that's the best approach. We want to take this one because we need it, and we don't want Rohan to get it. So let's just disembark there, and we'll just walk. We'll just take the roads, and we'll just walk.
We can go no further.
Oh, Dovesheath Elders, you might as well start making your way up here where you can be retrained. Alkford's getting that, which is good. Head 2 on the Moot Hall, and then that can get a barracks up. Which should allow us to train the elites of all of our clans, in fact. Well, then you call them elites, but they're middle tier units. Oh, I didn't move either of those. So Enedwaith, all of the trash units are available from the specific economic buildings. Like we've seen the Fowl and Border Guards come from the farms, the Mordag fishermen come from the fishery. So they come from those economic buildings, and those are your trash tier, militia tier units. They're not fantastic. They do a job, and certain units have excellent abilities, and they can punch far above their weight. Mordag fishermen, for example, they are a trash tier unit, but because Enedwaith's javelins are so good, the Mordag fishermen do very well. But then in order to get the middle tier, your defensive line units is what I always like to think of them as, the main units you're going to rely on for most of the campaign. In order to get them, you need to capture the clan seats, which is what we have now done. But once you capture those clan seats, you can then train those middle tier units in the barracks buildings. But what you can never do, which is something I might look to change, certainly outside of might look to, I think I'll look into it. Something that the barracks does not currently provide is the ability to train the trash tier units in the barracks, and I think it probably should include the trash tier units in the barracks, is my gut instinct. We make 4,000. I'd really like Londare to also get the Carpenter's Guild house so that everything is as cheap as it can be. That's definitely a plan of action. Right, build us a tower there, move up there, build us another one. Do we bother about the Forest of Erun Vaughan? I'm not sure you can even get through it. Oh, you can. Yeah, go on. Go to the end and build us a tower on that peninsula as well. What the hell? Oh, we need one there in Londangren. We don't have anyone there. I'll take a unit of border guards to be the garrison here, and I will take those Tauta back up to Alkford because they've got experience. Can you take 2 units? Free upkeep for 2 units, yeah. 2 border guards will be good. Yeah. Heret, what's your situation? You've got 2 from that, and you've got 1 from that, so you could have 3 here. So we'll take another one of those, and we'll take another warrior, get you ready and set. Barad Vin can only do 1, can't it? Because we don't have a grove. We could do with improving that. So we'll get a stone circle up, and train 2 more of those from the circle. Yeah. We're just trying to... We need to just shore up the borders. And that is absolutely paramount. Even just 3 units is better than nothing. Ah, bugger. Bree are going to get Cadas Nernaled. I really wanted to take that. But it's not to be. Ah, and they're training now, which is good. And as is the Carpenter's Hut. Well done. And Buzzardum is some turns away. So, that's not too bad. Did we move the boat? Yes, we did. And the Diplomat. You can now talk. You're in Lake Evandene. You've arrived at a Numinas of old. Surely they'll want an alliance. We're allied to all their allies, and we're about to be at war with their enemies. Yes. And have we already done map information? I can give you military access as well. You probably won't want it. No.
Well, that seemed fruitful.
What was his name? Calimir, conqueror of Fornos de Rhine. Ah, so he's the one that took it back. The Dunedain stronghold stands true. There are still 2 rebel provinces there in the centre, but Bree can have those. That's no problem. We're allied with Bree now, so they're trapped. They're trapped. They will be our allies indefinitely. Oh, Dunland hitting Bregnas. Oh, Rohan could do with some support. See, given that Rohan and Dunland might back and forth around Bregnas and the region north of it, which I can't remember the name of. I know it's called Dunland Border, but I can't remember what the town's called. But they're going to back and forth between those 2, so it might have actually been more prudent to attack north of the Gwathlo, Because then, with Rohan coming up from the south and us coming... With Rohan distracting Dunland in the south, we could take things in the north without difficulty. But then all of that is a moot point again, because we cannot risk Rohan taking Dunland border from us. We need that to unite the clans, and I'd like to unite the clans before we attack a nation who will actually put up a fight. Because Dunland we can beat in our early tier incarnation without trouble. We'll be able to take on Dunland without any problems at all at this earlier stage of the game. We don't need to rely on our later tier troops, but Rohan might put up a bit more of a fight. But Rohan, of course, are not the danger. Rohan are nothing. Not bothered about Rohan at all, but what we are bothered about, of course, is Rohan's far more important and powerful ally who will not take kindly on us attacking them, and that is Gondor. War with Rohan will bring war with the men of the south, and we need to be ready to take them on. But I would like to attack Gondor and Rohan to show off Enedwaith's ability to hold their own in the later stages of the game. I think that's key to showing off Enedwaith's new incarnation, new iteration. So Gondor is a good target to sink our teeth into, particularly with Isengard having been beaten. We'll finish Isengard off. I'll happily attack them. I'm sure they will break their alliance with us almost immediately once we attack Dunland. Although I don't know, actually, because we are more powerful than Dunland. Isengard are really up against it, and they only border us, and they're surrounded by enemies now. Although I think they might still hold Isengard itself. We would need to send a spy. We can train a spy, can't we? Yeah, let's find out if the Orthanc has been taken, because if not, we'll happily take Orthanc. We don't get anything for it. There's no benefit to us taking Orthanc. But whereas if you take it as Dunland in version 5, if you capture Orthanc as Dunland, you can train your more Isengard-inspired troops, which is just the Guardians. You get the Orthanc sentries, although actually they're available to you now already, so that doesn't matter. But you get the powerful late game Isengard spear unit. I'm sure they're called Guardians of, or they're called Orthanc something, aren't they? Orthanc Guard, maybe. I can't quite remember. Ooh, Captain Eamod, what is this? Transgression? Eamod, we do not take kindly on non-allies walking amongst the lands of Enedwaith. And we will not respond well if you declare war on us, you tricksy little bastardo. Are we making any money? How long did Druidine take? 2 turns. That's more than enough forces to take the Dunland province. Algford, though, if you could train some troops, like basically a full army, that would be really smashing, because it would appear Rohan are going to come for you. Oh, you really need a moot hall. Don't train anything, let's save the money. Hopefully we'll be able to build the moot hall on the next turn. What are we doing with our diplomat now? Scythe, we're doing Sodor with you. Get some map info from them.
Proposition for us?
Yes. We find out how well Angmar are doing.
Until we meet again.
Oh wow, they hold the entire of the north. That's fantastic. And that's interesting. Who owns this province here then? Anyway, Scythe, make your long journey south, for we will want to get you talking to the peoples of the south. Oh look, Bree are pushing in on Dunland there as well. Oh, and Karas Nernled has just got a massive garrison. Can you get a spy? I will take a spy. Ah, and you've arrived. Perfect. So get your towers up, and then send you north. The southern Ered Luin needs towers. I was going to say the southern Ered Luin Mountains, but that is so tautological, because Ered Luin means blue mountains. Ered, mountains, plural. Orod, mountain, singular. Such as seen in the name of Mount Doom or Druin. Means mountain, singular, solo. I haven't seen a Sindarin translation of Erebor actually. I don't think there is one. I mean, you could try and make one up. Ah, the Ardenheim are doing well. They reign supreme.
This tower will keep vigil over the lands.
This tower will keep vigil over the lands. You're damn bloody right, son. No one's going to be able to see us coming. Ah, Food Carpenter's Guildhouse. Moot Hall, please. Get that up, get that built, get that ready. For we need more troops. What did Eamod do? Oh. I see malicious intent before me. I know what a surprise attack looks like, Rohan. Kindly remove your cavalry from our lands. Where is Scythe? Scythe, there is need now for you to discuss with them. It's a shame you can't send threats. How do we spell his name? Scottithe. There we are. Alright, if you haven't seen the channel before, I'm going to say it. Everyone knows I cheat move diplomats, so just have to get over that, I'm afraid. Right, what I would really like them to do is not attack me, but I can't actually demand that now that we've arrived here. In my fervour, my bloodlust, I realise that actually I can't do anything. There's no reason to talk to Rohan. I can't ally with them because I'm allied to their enemies. We have trade rights at the moment. Should we just go ultra ballsy? To war!
Suggest such a thing is an insult. This meeting
Very well, Rohan. Your fate is sealed. Melmadoc, they have forced our hand. You are diverted south. Londangren, you might have to hold against Cornwall. But Captain Eamod, who seeks to... Oh, they've taken Malranaith. Oh, we need Malranaith. Oh, of course. So war is joined whether we want it or not, because we need Cadas. And Isengard currently hold it, but Rohan... Rohan now hold it, but Isengard did. So we were always going south, whatever happened. I'd like 2 units of those to be the bodyguards at Londair, the garrison force, and I'm going to try and take those Tauters south to join up with Melmadoc. Could we I've moved you already, haven't I? And I've moved you as well. Right, let's see what Rohan do in the aftermath. Our borders are secured. They are ready. The forces stand prepared. Now war is joined. I bet Rohan preemptively attack us. Oh, no, they buggered off. But Cornwall didn't. Well, we're going to hit him then. Let's see how your cavalry fares when the stout spears of the Fowlan are thrust into the very guts of your cavalry. The cry of the horse as the legs are swept from them in the charge is a cry I daren't listen to, but if it is what is needed to protect the lands of Enedwaith, then we'll slay every single Rohirrim horse that we find west of the Gap of Rohan. We will send them back. I find myself in a bizarre situation where I'm allied to Isengard, whom I would happily see wiped off the map, and I am soon to attack Isengard's other ally, but they just don't know that yet. Osgiliath is under attack, so Gondor have other fish to fry. Now is absolutely the time. Melmadoc, you are charged with the attack on Rohan. You are given authority for this attack by the highest order of Enedwaith itself. The council, the moot itself, gives authority. War is joined. The Horse Lords, as they so brashly call themselves. Let's try and get free upkeep in Bregos so that it does actually do a thing. We will show these Horse Lords that whilst they may control and rule the horse, we are war lords.
Yes, my lord.
Cornwall, we will declare our intent with a preemptive strike.
Marching to war.
Oh, 3 cavalry units, although bugger, those are archers. Do we want to actually meet the cavalry on the field? I think the answer to that question has to be no. So, if you would, try and move back into the town. Bugger. Bugger. Well, that was a silly idea, Gallip. That was a very, very silly idea. Let's end the turn and see what they do. That's what their rebuttal is. They've done nothing. They haven't attacked us. And I imagine they've moved Cornwall out of our land. They don't want to risk him getting defeated. And they will, of course, have seen our army move into their land. Now, the AI doesn't actually get cheat sight, I don't think. But I could be entirely wrong on that, because they do frequently have seemingly first-hand knowledge of your army's movements, your town's defences. And so I worry that actually something that the AI does get in Med 2 is something we are unable, I should imagine, to change. Oh, Bree, don't be declaring war on me now. Why would you? You're not allied to Rohan. Why would you be interested? This is not your fight, Bree. Stay out of this or we'll take you down as well. Do not test me. Pathetic folk. Camping behind their high walls. Oh, we don't have any money. Lothlorien is under attack. Cornwall did not leave. But bolstered by the Mochaini, we'll definitely be able to take him.
My lord.
We shall engage.
Oh, it didn't actually declare count as a war. I see. It didn't count as a war because, of course, we didn't actually attack. We pulled back.
Yes.
Will you hide? Yes. And then on the next turn, you might be able to make it to Karas in one go. Alright, we've just lost a trading partner, so our funds will be depleted, sadly. Did you manage to get those units trained? Ah, brilliant. And I'll take them as well. We should really take the Leodan instead of the Foul and Border Guards, actually, because they're much better. They're a considerably better unit. Although in Siduri, we can take those. Jump in the boat. No, we'll just take both of these for now. There we are. And then sail down here. And then leave one behind. No, we don't need to leave any behind. Balls to it. Into glory. Out to war, lads. Let's hit Cornwall. Yeah, he's not going to take this on, is he? Let's kick Rohan out. The first of many successful battles against the men of Rohan. Now, Rohan are at a huge disadvantage against me because the AI is rubbish at commanding cavalry. They might get the odd, really, really successful and powerful charge. They might, every now and then, just about pull off a charge worthy of a human player. But it's rare. Now, when it does happen, it's ridiculously infuriating, but it is rare. And that is what we are up against. Normally, the AI treats cavalry essentially like infantry. The only problem we've got today is the cavalry archers, but they will just run away. But I'm interested to see what they will do, actually, how they'll play this. Whether they will realise that they need to charge into me to be of any kind of use, or whether they are just going to stand there and take it like infantry. We want to be standing still if the cavalry is going to charge into us, which it is. Alright, our hand has been forced. That's the only problem with the battle camera, the total war camera, is when you double click it changes the height. Oh, it's javelins and archers. Oh, this is going to be a map of just running them around. Right, let's offer up you as bait then. So, run towards them. Right, the Rohirrim will be cut down very, very easily. As you can see, they are dying off. Easily killed by the spears of the Fowlan, and they are routing, as you would expect. Straight into the Tauta, who take a couple more down. Yes, look at that, fantastic. Right, and then all of you are going to go wide and just stand across the back here, while this one soaks up the enemy arrow and javelin fire. So you are being offered up as bait, I'm afraid. So try and just keep the... Oh, they attacked you. Oh, brilliant. Move the entire army in. Doesn't really matter that you're in wide formation at the moment, to be honest. Just hit them. I'm really not bothered about losses. These are our 4 most replaceable units. Like, there's just no threat. Now, I'm very pleased we didn't attack with the 2 border guards because I didn't even realise that one of them was skirmishers. Fighting skirmishers is such a pain in the neck. Those Rohirrim archers. Did you see that? It just said victory is certain. Like, are you joking? I do think Rohan look cool, though. I don't know why everyone's always on about. Can Rohan please be overhauled? They look exactly like you'd want them to look. And then the Royal Guards look even more elite. But I think their visuals are spot on. I think they're in a good place. Oh, we did lose a lot, though, didn't we? But we've shown Rohan that we are not to be messed with. The first seeds of Enedwaith, the new nation, the kingdom of Athamor rises from the ashes of the disunity of Enedwaith. And Rohan will be the first to taste the newly forged sword of Enedwaith. Whilst we do not hold a blood feud with the Horse Lords as our cousins in Dunland do, we have long seen the destruction wrought by the sons of Numenor, and the Rohirrim are a part of that. Rohan is a legacy of the sons of Numenor. For of course, were it not for the Numenorians, then Rohan would still be in the hands of its true overlords. Right, Tauta there, you also come over. We'll just get you in the main army. And Captain Karmag with your 2 units do the same when the time comes. Captain Eodan, but unfortunately I've not clicked that in time, so we don't get him as a general. Because I moved the army off. And Coruion. Ah, yes, because of that victory, we've now got a bit more money. Which means we can build some more towers. I love towers. I build towers. I built towers, and my father built towers before me. And before him, his father built towers as well. Right down family line. Why do you think our surname is Towers? Because we built towers. And Cruion, our son, proud of him we are. He's the latest in a long line of tower builders. And some of the towers he builds, best I ever seen. I've been building towers my whole life. 67 years I've been building towers. And Cruion came through as a little lad, no higher than my knee. And he built his first tower. I was blown away. The strength of that tower was, I could practically stand on it. It were made of twigs, and I was standing on top of it. I couldn't believe it. Absolute, it's in his blood. It's in his blood. Right, so with War with Rohan joined, things are now actually going to spice up, which is nice. And all the while, we also need to keep a weather eye on Dunland and attack them just in time. We need to take this region, we need to take this region, this region, this region, and this region. And then we'll get the message saying, take this region, and that is the unification complete. By that time, we should be slightly better financially. We've been tactically building financial buildings and setting ourselves up. Well, actually, we've been setting ourselves up to build buildings that make our buildings cheaper, but we've been setting ourselves up. But for now, I am off to actually eat a sandwich before I have to go back to work today, as it is lunchtime. And I will see you all in the next one, which is this week. But as I say, before the next episode, there is likely to be a Warhammer episode as well. So if you're enjoying the Warhammer campaign, as I am, then please do watch along and comment and like and do all those things. You don't have to do those things if you don't want to. But it's nice to comment to let me know what you think, so that I can see how it's going. But until we speak again, dear friends, have a smashing day. Navarne den Perimer Melonin, and farewell.